Hey, Miguel, I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome, buddy. A little bit of a late start for me this morning, but we're here for it. We see that the 2 hour, you are seeing that upside continuation, but are we going to stop here and see that divergence that just kind of is like looming there? You haven't really shaken off those divergences yet. And this is why we're kind of suggesting like you just kind of want to keep retesting and going up. So it's something that could happen in the next couple of, maybe even today, maybe even at 9 a.m. when you do get some data, is there will be a window here where we could potentially see a 30-minute pullback to grab some buyers down at lower levels. Where would we be paying attention to if a 30-minute pullback did happen? Hey, that daily expected move, 592.34, going to be very, very good to go to that type of level. Actually, if you go down to 590.77, that looks pretty nice as well. But you would be convinced by maybe them telling you that it's awful throughout the day that this is going to be awful. And the truth here is, it is likely that if you do get any kind of pullback, I'm not even suggesting we have to get a pullback, right? How did we overall draw this? You could do this all the way up, baby. That's that squeezing type behavior. You just get these little wicks down for retest. So we're suggesting that you could see the 30-minute pullback, but you don't necessarily have to. But if you did see it, you wouldn't want to treat it as something mega bearish because your technicals as well are super positive on the 30-minute. You see they are pretty damn positive on the RSI. And hey, the last time that you were able to get by this center line and curl up, it was a good thing, right? So why wouldn't the same thing happen over here as our technicals look like continuation is the most probable thing on the 30-minute scale? Now, even though we can make that argument and say, hey, that means a lot of the probabilities with a pullback would point to more upside. How would we overall tear down? And that's if we ever break through this low, we start to open up those doors to some downside moves. So you notice we have a lot of space here where we can get like really gain the ground back at any moment. So it's going to be very difficult to break down. This would mean that paying attention to your technicals on the 2 hour would still help you out with that second point divergence, right? First one getting, or actually this was a lower high, my bad. So the first point of divergence coming in here, if the 2 hour is able to confirm down strongly here enough to curl down your MACD and your RSI at the same time, that's where risk gets higher. But for today, we called out in last night's video, most likely you see an upward move in the first 30 minutes, and then we will see if, I think it's ISM Services PMI, we'll see if that is able to cause a little disruption, and maybe it gives us a 30-minute pullback today. Wouldn't that be fantastic? How that 30-minute pullback would go is make the new high, but lose the previous low, kind of do the slow rolling down. And then we see if we can scoop this back up, right, by the end of the day, maybe going into tomorrow. That would be very, very nice. Not guaranteed to happen, but can't you just see it? You got puts on AMD. How'd you get puts on AMD? Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. AMD is doing exactly what it needs to do. Now, you will get a 30-minute pullback, okay? You're very likely to see a better 30-minute pullback here. It's kind of like, hey, this thing's screaming to the upside. Be cautious with it, right? Especially if you're like taking shorts trying to call a top. Just stop trying to call the top, right? And this is where we'll really go in depth with this, with price action, not necessarily technical side with the price action. We will go very much so in depth with this soon. I'm still getting to that one. That's the most like, that's kind of the hardest one to teach, I would say. But for this type of trend, you want to be very cautious shorting whenever you see this type of shape, right? A low, a lower high, right? And a higher low all of a sudden. Once you see that higher low, you go, ooh, shorting will be very, very tough now because it looks like you're about to do what? Go make a new high. You make a new high. So if you shorted in here now, the most likely thing to happen for AMD, this is why I like longer extended options as well. I can hang on to them to see if I ever get a retest. You're very likely to retest this level right here of 115.14, and you also have the availability to retest this wick at 113.36. Theoretically, you can come all the way down to 111.63. But that would be a lot of selling that could cause a little bit more of a downtrend. So that is probably the line in the sand down there. So what you would like to see in here is, and why we're talking about it is, if I shorted here and I'm like, oh crap, it's still going up. And then I just go, okay, well, I didn't pay attention. I can acknowledge this is making an uptrend now. So what am I looking for? Well, they're probably going to reach down and find those buyers soon. So I'm not going to necessarily like stop my position, my short position here, but I might give it a day to see if it can come down to this type of level or this type of level and make some of my money back, right? Treat like managing your trade is like you're strategic at all times, right? You're not just, oh, this happened really, really fast, so I do that, right? It's you want to slow it down. This is why I do bigger time frames. This is why I do longer extended options. I can slow it down just for that 2 or 3 minutes. A day trader would have to make a decision in like a minute or two. I like the bigger stuff because I can go, okay, now I can give myself that 2, 3, 4 minutes to really think about, hey, what am I going to do here? I made a mistake. Okay, I made a mistake. It hasn't lost that much value. I just want to get rid of it. Oh, hey, I made a mistake. It lost a decent amount of value. We just made a new high, and that MACD and RSI are overextended, so we might get that 30-minute retest. Maybe I'll sell that somewhere around 115, right? Maybe I'll get rid of it then because I can. A lot of people do this. They see a new high and then they see it come down and they're planning to do what I just talked about. And then they start to think, oh, but it could turn back down, right? Oh, it could turn back down. No, you're in an uptrend now, my friend. This is like the first piece that goes wham, and then this is a big move. So you don't want to be caught in it over here is the most likely situation for AMD. Just wanted to discuss that further in the most helpful way possible of like when this stuff happens, slowing it down and just thinking about your next move instead of just making that move just for a couple of minutes can really help you out. You'll have a little like if you're a trader, you're gonna have a day where your heart's racing a little bit, right? Like you've definitely had a couple of trades that you're like, ah, shit, that didn't go my way, right? Or maybe it's just a fun one and that makes your heart race and you don't know, hey, should I sell this? Should I do this? Should I whatever? Just give yourself that pause of a minute or two. IWM so far looking so good, right? This is what we talked about somewhere in here, I believe. It was before it made the new high, but actually, I don't want to take credit for like talking about IWM. Someone in the chat actually brought up IWM. I forgot that I had looked at it over the weekend or that morning, but I didn't say it to you guys. Someone in the chat, it was one of you guys, came out and said, "Hey, have you seen this setup from IWM?" I love it. I think whoever called that out, fantastic. So really we should be thanking the chat this time around. And we just went and looked at it for you. But that guy saw it, man. All he saw was very simple. This is very bad, right? But a divergence showed up and it said, hey, we're going to try to retake that high and see some kind of upside move, maybe to test in this zone. But what happens? You just see a snap through those sellers. You see a snap through here. You're able to hold up near the 5-day moving average. You see a little divergence right here on your 30-minute MACD and RSI. My goodness. And really, I took it here. The place to take it was down here. And I'm assuming whoever caught this hopefully saw it right here at like 205.50. That is the place to take it. And this can be the first point of your trade where you're like, hey, I could like, sell a contract. I could make some profit at this point because it's a pretty good move really, really fast. So the most likely thing here still, make the new high, right? We want it to make the new high, then come into this zone to test it, right? And look at the freaking buyers in here, man. Like you don't have to. Remember, you don't have to. You can just do this if we keep going, man. It's going to be a hard one to short. IWM, though, you'd like it to show the new high, and then the more likely thing is to show that high and then come back down into buyers, maybe around that 5-day moving average, and then you'll see it go up again. That's the most likely thing, but if I was long on this for a month, I might like take profit in like a few contracts like right here, and then I would be like, okay, and then on that pullback, I'm just going to reload them. And then if we don't get the pullback, hey, I still have plenty of runners. I just like taking profit on the way up, right? There's very strategic and like smart ways to hold on to things. But very, very nice to whoever pointed it out. Thank you. Now the 2 hour is likely to do this as well. Now around this time, you're going to see something like this. Maybe it extends and you see it up here. You're going to get a 2 hour pullback, probably back into this type of area before you head higher if we're going to continue up. right? We will talk about if like reversal signals pop up. Remember, I'm still seeing something. I'm seeing something bad for the SPY. If we keep extending for this long, we can open the window, especially with a new all-time high kind of narrative. Like if we hit new all-time highs, that kind of narrative, you might want to be watching out for some bad stock, some selling possible at the towards the end of the summer, maybe like mid-July. Definitely can see it for August. We'll have to find out. For the time being, though, the 30-minute continuing to the upside before we do get data this morning. Yesterday, it seemed like people were pretty bearish. Today, we have to wait a few more minutes to get that information. All right, guys, now we're getting into the chat, right? Humbly, that was me. Marcus, yeah, thank you. It was you, Marcus. No. It's okay. We know you're not going to be a cocky little shit about it, but that was a great setup, man. Is great price action behavior. Your MACD and RSI just give it, like literally, your MACD and RSI gave you a tight little 30-minute divergence, and I didn't see it. I had to get into that late. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. But anyway, I would like us to keep going and just squeeze right now, especially for Apple finally making a new high here. Hopefully this is a big moment for Apple. We did suggest that at the, okay, oh, this is what we need to go over. This is actually it. I think it's the daily. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is, you notice reversal signals popped up here. Reversal signals popped up here with the lower high, and then they went away, they got violated. What you're going to end up doing is making another cluster just like this, probably shorter. It's probably shorter like this one, like just like a week or a week and a half. I think you're going to see that. This is truly what I believe is going to happen, is you're going to see that right there. You're going to see this little thing right here, something like this right over here. I don't think this will be like, oh, peak, go. No, I think you're going to go up, in, up again. Then you see it start to fall. I think you're going to see something like this, like right there. I just wanted to point that out. I forgot to mention it, probably because I was a little late this morning. But I'm really watching for that. I'm watching for that like all-time high trap at like 618. Depends on how much we can roll calls throughout the summer, but we'll see. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. That's what I'm kind of looking for. Thoughts on, God, dude, is my YouTube being all messy? Is my YouTube being fucking weird, or is it just me? Might be me. Righto, thank you so much. Oh, Righto, we like some beats. Okay, let's look at Thames, right? Is this that Tempest thing? TEM? Are you looking at TM or TMS? I don't know what the hell this is. Nope. We'll look at this. Oh, okay. Yeah, for this one, you just keep making lower highs. That's the problem. You keep making lower high, keep making lower high. Like that is genuinely the problem. The time where this needed to turn around was right here. But do you see how the flush? Do you see how the problem is? Uh-oh, right? That's a bad thing. Now, each time frame is going to tell you something different. What is the 2-hour MACD telling you? Oh, look at this. We shot up. We're back to positive. We're back above the 5. We're back above the 9. Hey, we're in positive territory. Hey, we're above that center line for the RSI. It's done a lot of good work here. That's what I'm saying. It's done a lot of good work. Really, really fast, right? How high is that? 15, 16% in just one 2-hour bar. So do you think that 30 minutes probably a little bit overbought? Yeah. So what's probably going to happen here? You're going to get a 30-minute 2 push down. Probably a 15-minute could track it on your MACDs, but 30-minute 2 push down. And then you're going to go down into who? Well, you can come down into here. That would be nice. But you could see something like this, right? There's your one. Probably an extended third one, though. It's probably going to extend a little bit. So best case, Tempest starts to turn around right here. As of right now, we're like, this wouldn't be worst case. I guess like bad case for a deeper push down would be like here towards $57. And then the worst case is you roll all of this, right? You see 1, 2, you get 3, but you only go 4, 5, and you really start to break down. Then you start to crash down. That's how it breaks down. But notice that everything here is bullish now. It's bullish again. Okay, now let's treat it very simply and use our indicators, right? We talked about 5-day being there. We talked about price, like where those windows are. But what if this happens? What if this happens right now? What if this happens? What if this goes like that? What if pretty much the MACD just curls up? Well, you know, if I have a weekly expected move and I say, hey, this thing's really built back to positive, it probably wants to see another positive move. I'll watch out for divergence. But if this 30-minute crosses up, what's most likely to happen? Positivity. All right? You can treat it very simply as well. You know, talking about these numbers down in here are just like, you know, kind of good estimations. But until you have that full confirmation, until you see this, right? Comes down into here, you got to get boom. Come back down. Then you go. That's how you get head and shoulders and shit, right? So that's how I see it for the time being. 2 hour, pretty damn positive. If the 2 hour rolls, though, it's still in that risky spot. Let's look daily. Daily pullback as well. So if this thing rips, it rips, man. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Actually, what the hell, guys? That's a big zone. Yeah, if this daily gets going, it's gonna try to make a new all-time high, I think, right? Is that the all-time? I'm pretty confident to say that it's gonna try to, if this daily if you can make a new high at all here, you already did what you need to do oh yeah, you're fucking, oh shit. Tempest looks like it's about to see a rally here. Well, that's what I see. So because we're talking about this and it looks mega bullish now, let's just see how this thing can go bad, okay? If the 2 hour rolls here, be careful with it. All right, wait till things go back to positive. But I think this could see a massive move. Being genuine about that, I think it could get potentially a 20-point move in the next, like, over the next month and a half. Jeez, though. My goodness. AMC never gonna stop. Of course they're not. They're going down to $3 now. Oh, well, that's the line in the sand. It's a general area, and we're not seeing any kind of reversal here at all. You're hoping this is just a shakeout before something massive if you want to squeeze, because everything here is pointing towards what? $3. Yeah, everything here is pointing to $3. You go, whoop, whoop. See this over here? That's how you want that. But you probably want it higher up. So you literally don't want it that deep. You want it like this. You want it right. See where a good spot is. Like right below it. Like right here. That's what you want. If this goes mega bear, though, then you're losing that zone. You might be rolling. I don't think so, though. Positive MACD. It seems like the next attempt will be, I would say, in the next week or a week and a half. Weird. Kind of adds up to when the market might throw up. That's interesting. I don't know if they're diluting right now. I don't know. Tesla dumped off. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's scary, right? Ooh. Are you shaking? Ooh, there's a big pathway down here, too. Oh, 2 hour rejected, man. It looks so bad. And it can get bad, right? This is where it's a lot of the time like risk off, right? Nope, not in calls. And then you have to kind of see, maybe you even go into shorter term. You go like 5-minute here and you go, okay, well, what do I need to do to go higher? You know, if I want to get into this again, it needs to show me good things. So you're probably going to do this and see one more down. No, you could be done. So you're going to want this to get a higher low. Once you see a higher low, you can kind of be like, all right, now I'm looking at the 30-minute to swing back up. And then you can monitor it like a 30-minute trade. Is this like bearish right now? I would say it's leaning on the edge. I think it's like dipping its toes into where it can become bearish for real. If you break through this level, then it starts to become, yes, it's easy bearishness. But for the time being, you're just like, well, we haven't lost that low. This is kind of like a box of its own that you have to break through, right? Damn, look at that rejection at the very top too. Holy crap. Made the new high though. So technically this is at, you look at it this way. You look at it from the 30-minute perspective and you just go, this is just really deep. It's really scary looking. That's a crazy one. I like it. I think that one's fun. Ever talk about Apple? Yeah, Apple for today, breaking through, showing the new high. I still think this isn't safe from some kind of 30-minute pullback, but I do want Apple to squeeze, right? What did we say about Apple in yesterday's video? Hey, we really want this thing to just pop off, right? That's my goal with Apple, is just be like, pop off, son. Like, just go. It needs to bust through these key sellers that it's at right now. You see on the 2-hour, look at that bar. Like, damn. That's a big ass bar. You take that out and you're doing the things you need to do. But the problem with this right now is you are in such like a mega downtrend for a sec here that you need a corrective or you need an actual change in trend type move, meaning I want like a 5 push higher here, right? I want 1, 2, 3, right? I want like 3, 4, 5. Like I want this to start to explode is what I'm saying for Apple. Pow, pow. I think Tesla's all right. I think it's in an all right spot. I'd watch that low and I'd be looking at, so what I like to do if I'm like, hey, I really want to trade that Tesla play, I look at a 5-minute and I look for it to switch the trend up. And if it switches the trend to, oh, I have a higher low, I go, okay, I'm going to try it. And then if that 30-minute swings back, I'm like, yay, I'm a genius. But really, it's just like it's like setting up a long play for like weeks using a day trade almost. And then you still have to sit there and monitor it because you're nowhere out of the woods because you're doing a 2-hour, 30-minute trade. This is what you want to see though, right? I want Apple to come back. You did some great things down in here. Now go. That's what you want. You want the same thing for Tesla. You want the same thing for Nvidia. But here's the thing about these stocks right now. Notice that Apple is going up and Nvidia is kind of weaning down. Notice Tesla is kind of weaning down. Now, these can catch a bid later, but note that these have already seen big-ass moves. So if there is some kind of rotation game going, then I would say you're probably going to see what? Apple positive, maybe Amazon trying to go positive. Already seen a big move, but maybe it wants to go a little more. It wasn't too crazy. Google, let's go look Google. Google, right? We can monitor this trade with you guys if you'd like. Let's see if anything's happening here that's overall good. No, you're not seeing it yet. And your technicals are not telling you it with the divergence. The price action is not telling you yet as well. It's actually showing rejection at the top selling wick. So what you want to see from Google, you have the signal saying, you can even do this, like genuinely right now. You can be like, this is a very low price, right? If you're good at managing risk, you can take plays like without confirmations. Like I like to say, wait for confirmations to a lot of people out here though. So maybe I shouldn't talk about this, but as long as you're good at managing trades and you understand that once you start to see the things that you're not supposed to see, you just get out. That's how I really take it. So I really like this wick. I would love for this to dip down into that price. And what I'm saying is I like to sometimes just grab some contracts with the level here being like, if it goes past there, I'm just done. I'm waiting for the trade to come to me again. And then if I see that upside move and get the retest, I can reload again on the retest. That is something that I execute more often. Actually, not necessarily very well lately because I'm live on YouTube like for all of May and June. I don't think I've executed it very, very well. I can admit that to myself. But for Google for now, you want this thing to make a new high. You want it to just show like this, right? Once it shows like this, you go, oh, there's my one. right? There's my push. And then you want it to take out every single high. And this will turn up the 2 hour. And that means the 2 hour needs to take out this guy. 2 hour takes out that guy. What are you opening up to? Look at this. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. See, if you ever start to plan something out and you're actually looking at the technicals of something, it should end in some kind of structure on other time frames too, by the way. Like once you get really good, once you understand like, hey, this is how the 30-minute behaves. Okay, it did this, it made a divergence. So where would the 2 hour go next? Okay, then I can literally think like 2 or 3 days ahead. I think after that, you start to get a little bit reaching out, right? This is why yesterday I was able to tweet, I think tomorrow we're going to see some kind of upward move that fades. Or at least that's what we said in the live show, I believe. But still, I think there's going to be an upside move that then fades. And then you go down to the daily expected move and people start to freak out. And maybe it breaks that and goes down to 591. And then it just starts to curl back up. That's what I think will happen here. What'll that mean next? That it could set up a 30-minute divergence. So I'm immediately like, okay, and I'll be watching for a 30-minute divergence. I'm open to it violating the divergence for the first point if we see a squeeze. If we see a squeeze and we go rip, then this 30-minute divergence, even if it's on the MACD, it will not be on that RSI, man. It will not be on that RSI. And then you're going to go make it on the RSI, which means you're going to make another lip on the MACD, which means we could see this. That's how we would overall see this for the 2 hour pullback. This over here is just a 2 hour pullback. Like once, and this is why lately I've really been trying to talk about just like practicing, right? You've heard me talk about practice a lot in May. Go look at charts. Literally, just go look at charts. If you're struggling right now, you've struggled for a while, you've struggled for a little bit, you've struggled the whole time, you're new. The best thing that any one of you can do, even if you've looked at charts forever, you could agree. Looking at charts can make you understand things better and make you able to see things better. You will understand things better, right? I don't know what kind of analogy to put towards it, really. But it's like, would a basketball, like, do you think if someone could like, I don't know, have better ball handles just by holding a ball all day or something like that? It's like something so simple as just looking at something can really make you better. It's kind of weird, but it's the truth. The more you look at markets, it's like the chicken sexers. Nobody knows how they can get it 95% correct now. And the whole time they were just guessing, but they got better at guessing. It's kind of like that. Once you look at it enough, you start to get an inclination. You start to get those gut feelings in the right direction more of the time. Are we about to hit the data? Looks like PCC coming out today. People switching a little bit to the neutral bull side. We will get data in about 4 minutes. Just so you are aware, today's data that we will get is ISM Services PMI. The previous was 51.6. It is supposed to tick up to 52. 52. Now, whether or not this is good or bad, where is the next bullish opportunity if I'm not in calls? Whether or not this is good or bad. This is how I treat data. Whether or not this is good or bad, this will not make me make a decision. Why? Shorting in a positive trend when you could just do this, right? We already talked about this market could just do this. It's going to be very hard to catch a good short there for a 30-minute. It's going to be very hard. You don't know if this is coming. I think it is very likely to come, but this market can do crazy things. That's not a highly probable trade in my opinion. Now, you do what you want to do. Maybe you see it differently. Maybe you're looking at a 5-minute right now and you're looking for a day trade and you're going, hey, there's 5-minute divergence and things like that. Look for it to make the low, right? But for the time being, it's not necessarily the environment for me to short easily. But it is the environment for me to take calls on any big pullback. Any 30-minute pullback I really like, and I have an area to pay attention. So if this market gives me the opportunity here I would be very happy. And if I was getting into plays now, by the way, right? This is if you don't have anything right now. You would want to see that basing out structure. You'd want to see it potentially dip into 591. And then you'd want that to curl up right down here on your MACD. And you can even wait for that if you'd like, because this to this, right? This whole thing right in here is like kind of the trade at that point. If you're doing shorter term, by the way, that would be like, weak options and stuff like that. For this, does it change? Can it change? If we squeeze here, what changes? This does not change. It just moves up, right? This does not change. Whether I miss out. Okay, you miss out. Wham, boo-hoo. The market's going to market still. So this does not change. My next opportunity is with this shape. The only other shape that I am open to is whenever the MACD has this look in any fashion. Doesn't matter what the price looks like. It can look like this. Right? And then I see it cross up. It can look like this. Crazy, but it can look like this. Right? It won't be that long, but whenever this thing crosses up, right? So the next opportunity is a 30-minute pullback. That's just a for sure thing. If it's not a 30-minute pullback, then sorry, bears, you're just getting squeezed. And if you're not holding on to long contracts, then you potentially have to be patient. That's just how I see it. We want to see a market sell-off. just selfish. Well, we all do. We all want the, we all want the S&P 500 at $100. I don't think you know what the world would look like at that point. It would be so scary. You would like, hopefully not. Hopefully it's just corporations eating it. But if it went to that, you would see poverty. Like not even poverty. You would see depression. Like most like that is the most probable scenario. If S&P 500 goes to $100 in the next 5 years, you're probably in a depression. And if that's happening, then hopefully you did save like just 10K at least, like 10K that you're just like, I'm always gonna hold this to buy stocks when the S&P 500 hits $100. I don't think that'll ever happen. I think the lowest I saw for the S&P 500 was like, I think it was like 220 or 280, 220, something like that. Is data bad? Yeah, well, the charts kind of told you that the data had a higher probability to cause a pullback. I mean, we can see if the data's bad. You want to see if this is going bad? Well, what do you have to lose? Got to lose the last low. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, maybe, right? Bam. Then you're down at that daily move. Or just big move, right? Take it all out. Wham. Just a big 1, 2, 3 down. Whew. That's how I'd see it. So is it bad? Meh. You'd say if the MACD curls down, you have divergence. So this is really adding up to like there's weakness here. It's a 5-minute chart though. They do crazy shit. Damn, that was a crash right there. Did you see us tag $100 for a second there on the SPY? What's it? What if it's fake out to squeeze? Then you should already be in the move, right? This is why I have the longer dated options. Like you should technically, it should already be in the move. I want it to squeeze. Like you don't understand. I want it to squeeze. I don't really care about the pullbacks. I care about the 2-hour one. I care about the 2-hour pullback, but that's not. I don't think that's going to happen until at least like, I'd say late Thursday, if not late Friday. Well, it's because of this, Shy. There is a level of psychology that's kind of weird here, but okay, so let's put it this way. I'm very uncertain of how to solve a Rubik's Cube. And I'm trying to do this for Shy, so listen up. I'm very uncertain of how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I'm very uncertain about it. I hate those things. They're terrible. Whatever, they confuse me. They're awful. But I am so certain that I'm uncertain about it that I probably won't react much about it. I'm not gonna be that mad at the Rubik's Cube, right? I'm really not gonna be that mad at it. I'm just gonna be like, okay, it's a Rubik's Cube. That's how I think people's sentiment about tariffs are right now. People right now are much more inclined to look at job data. Have you seen people mentioning job data a lot lately? They're more inclined to pay attention to job data and the yield, the dollar, gold, probably silver, like things like that. People are way more attuned to that right now than they are tariffs. Tariffs are just like, yeah, we're pretty certain we're going to be uncertain about tariffs, so whatever. Oh, Rubik's Cube? It's just like a puzzle. Like imagine it's just a puzzle. You're like, it pisses me off. I'm so uncertain about it. I can't solve it. Just a puzzle, right? A Rubik's Cube is a puzzle. And it's a puzzle that can frustrate the hell out of you, but I think that's more the sentiment is like tariffs are like a Rubik's Cube. Tariffs are like a puzzle that I can't solve. So why try to solve it and just be like, whatever. I'm pretty certain I'm going to be uncertain about it, but I'm not going to like make money moves completely based off of just that for now. No, Tesla, did it drop too far? Yeah. Uh-oh. This is your last chance. Your last chance. This is breaking down. Yeah, you start to lose this. It keeps going. So this might be the rotation game. Look at this. Do you see the stock that's really high up? Apple goes down. Apple starts going up. Meta starts to explode. Google probably. Let's see, Google. Google not really doing it. Microsoft still doing it. So who's going to carry the market? I think it might be this guy. Apple. I think Apple might have to carry this market for a bit. I think we might see pullbacks here, right? We think 30-minute pullbacks are very justifiable here, even for Apple. When Fed cuts, that's not a good sign. They'll make it. It'll be weird, Jake. But by the time we get to the rate cuts, people are going to be so ecstatic, I think, about the market that they're going to celebrate rate cuts for about 6 months. I genuinely think that we are going to see a fucking boom after we see a daily pullback. Like a daily, a daily pullback. Like I'm talking maybe a weekly pullback. And then I think we're going to just freaking rip. I think you might end up seeing a SPY of like, I think you'll see SPX 6500 in 2026. I think you have potential. I think it's on the table too. I think it's crazy, but I think with the sentiment out there and like how this market is so resilient, I have a little 5% guy in my head going, man, don't even take 7,000 off the table. That's how crazy the upward move could be if we're able to solve things throughout July to, say, September, and then, say, October, November, you get a rate cut, and everyone's cheering about the market, and, like, tariffs look fine, like, as far as it goes, maybe with China. Dude, you can explode. Dang it, Jonna. That's too bad. You want to look at SoFi? Yeah, SoFi, we were looking for that pullback. Very good to make that high, right? I would say losing this is kind of rough, but technically you need to lose all the way down to here. I would make a trend here. Yeah, I would just take the actual low, ignore that for a second, just connect it to here. And I would just say, okay, well, once we start to get down to this area, it gets risky. I'm looking for a retest that probably fails. So if I was in like calls, say like right, I take a call right now, and it just goes, oh, I'm wrong, right? You just know you're wrong, and then it bounces back. That's potentially where you make that type of decision. Now you will want to pay attention to things like the MACD and be like, is that overall like negative, right? If this is kind of by that center line, you might want to be like, okay, am I seeing this cross through a lot of those sellers or get a higher low? Maybe I want to hang on to it. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do SoFi. Overall, though, I think this will still end up being a good thing because price action is different on different time frames. This is why, like, price action wise, you don't really want to bounce around too much. You want to focus on your time frame. The 2 hour here could be a retest, is the thing. So what I'm saying is, we could be. Do you know how we like make divergence and we say like, oh, this is tapering off? I want you to imagine this right now. It's really, really bad looking right now. But if this is for some reason, some kind of crazy 2 hour retest, you could go through this experience where you do the tapering to the upside, right? You taper like this, then we end up marking that off, and we're going to end up like this eventually. So I'm still very open to SoFi getting positivity. I think that the 2 hour could be retesting right now. And so what I'm going to focus on is just, hey, let me make this trend so I know that this is when it gets risky if it tags down there. But if I see the 30-minute curl up, we could be actually making that trend more up, meaning this could be an explosive move. Okay? So that's how I would treat it for now. I would wait and see if the 30-minute confirms. I curl up on the MACD, and I would overall treat that as maybe even a daily swing trade at this point and say, where is Palantir or where is SoFi maybe going? And it might end up at 1578, right? So I know that I'm looking for a bullish trade, but I'm going to be very aware of where that bullish trade takes place. If it is like today and we just start to scoop up now, that's fine. If it starts to get down in here, it starts to get more risky, and you are higher potential not to see that big explosive move, actually. You are higher potential to see the breakdown at this point. All right? Hopefully we walked you through this pretty good. If you're really skilled and you know what you're doing, right? You've had your time looking at these charts and trying out, doing divergences, understand price action. 5-minute charts are a good thing to look for when that trend is going to potentially do what? Turn around, because that's when the highest probability of the 30-minute curling up is right when this happens. The 30 minutes going to try, okay? And then you just want to watch out for rejections, any kind of roll downs. You don't want the 30 minutes to roll down here or make divergence. All right, we walked you through that one pretty in depth. Let's go look at volatility, by the way. This is something I didn't talk about in my video last night that I meant to. I'm trying to get back to our old style at night where we really try to go through as many charts as possible, or at least the important things that we can see direction with. Let me know if you guys are enjoying that, by the way. Like, have you liked these past few videos, or do you like when we're more concise talking about a topic? We focused a lot on SPY and just a few other ones lately. I just wanted to see. Now, the VIX, is this worrisome on your MACD? No. Is this worrisome on your MACD? No, it is not. You are very likely to see an upward move here that just fails and you keep squeezing. Then, around these levels, which will coincide to what levels? Probably these levels. You could see 30-minute divergence on volatility. When we get that 30-minute divergence, or if we get it, right, we will see if that's going to turn this 2 hour around. This 2 hour is not worrisome. This 2 hour is very likely to reject. Now let's be aware of how it doesn't reject and rejects for volatility. For volatility, this would mean that you are going to go up into this area right here and you are going to reject. Okay, but it could be a decent 2 hour push. If that takes you through that center, watch if it makes a new high and look for that market to bounce, because this is actually how you end up going higher. All right. So if you're going to see some kind of crash, you could see that this at the end of this week. You're now aware of it. Right? I could see an uptrend move for volatility now, or in the next couple trading sessions. Okay. In order, and I think that window's coming. What would that be for the SPY? That means the SPY 2 hour is going to go up, right? That means the SPY 2 hour, we could do this and go up, or we could do this and go up. And then the 2 hour hangs its head up here, you know, towards maybe the end of the week. And then you either have to see an absolute squeeze moment, or else you're going to roll that on Monday and see your actual 2-hour pullback. And then the 2-hour pullback is what launches you higher, right? And that 2-hour pullback doesn't have to look like this, right? It could look like this, right? It doesn't have to be that deep. I just like to draw things deep because I like cheaper prices. And sometimes I feel like if I draw it deeper, it'll go deeper and then I can buy it. So the next trade opportunities are a 30-minute pullback, and then the next bigger opportunity is the 2-hour one. So I am paying attention to these levels. And these levels are getting closer and closer each day. So let's keep watching. 30-minute right now. Doesn't look too bad. Just shaping up in the same area. Continuing on the 5-minute, actually. If you see this, 5-minute, bam, bam, bam. Higher lows on the 5-minute. Still doing this type of thing. Right? It can literally do this the whole way if it wants to. If it does that, I'd be worried about a drop. You're so ADHD. I know, dude. It's bad. I think Apple will retest under the gap area. I think Apple will retest into here. I think eventually. That could be a wick retest, though. Like, this doesn't have to be tested now, but if you get it tested, it would be like in about 30 minutes to the next hour. You see like a wick down into here, and then that says we're going to keep going. Now, whether you keep going or not, when's the next real opportunity? Like easy, simple. I mean, look at your RSI, look at your MACD. When's the next opportunity? Whenever I see this type of shape, right? Whenever I see that 30-minute kind of come in. Now, so I want this to extend, touch that, and then come back down. I want this. That's what I would like to see for Apple. And then this could lead into the 2-hour pullback, right? So it really depends on how bullish this move is. Either way, I think right now you're like, okay, daily scale, do I have a trade? Daily scale, you have a trade, right? This means, like, swing trade wise, this would mean for the next month, you're pretty bullish on Apple, whatever it wants to do. Right? Let's keep it very simple. This is a daily swing trade to the upside. So what's this very likely to do? As it made a what? Barely higher low, but no new high. That's kind of lame, right? So you're in that consolidate. We want this to break out. But as of right now, we need to be aware that this is kind of pinching up right now. Let's get rid of this for now. We already tested that. This is kind of pinching up, right? Let's just do this. This could take a while. Let's just do it with these bars. Look at this. You could just go sideways forever. Tesla did this. You could just be ping-ponging. That's weekly expected move. Ping-ponging, 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 ping-ponging. That's how you break out. So if you really want this to be mega bullish right now, you want some news for Apple, and you want this to rip and make that new high, and really rip, I think. I think you want this to just rip. Then you pull it back, right? That would lead you into July. Then you go again. That's what you want to see for, damn, like, gosh. So daily swing trade, look at it by the end of the day. 30-minute pullbacks are on the table at any moment. You will most likely see a 30-minute pullback in the next 2 trading sessions, unless this thing gets some news. IWM, you're the GOAT. Yeah, okay. I mean, it was good. It was good. 30-minute pullback still likely here, right? We're looking for that tag of the 5-day pretty much. Like, you can go all the way down to like 206.80, and it's still good. And you could consolidate here. Oh, you were able to take this guy out. Not this guy, but this guy. That's really good. I think you're likely to take out all of them now. I think that's what you see. I really do think this is like the best way to load up, and then you have potential for a squeeze, like going into tomorrow. Woo! If we could just see a gap up here, that'd be crazy. All right, so I think we're going to see something like this. I think this is what tears us down. Let's just draw that shape real quick. What can I do? This? Like this kind of shape. I think you see that. And I think you could potentially see it from this point right here. And I think you see something like this. And I think this one might be a little extended, and this one might be a little extended like this. Just some like quick moves. And I have the availability for this to be stretched out, right? To like this. Right? Something like that. And then I think that's maybe where you're this is a 2 hour, by the way. This is like 2 hour move. You know, something like this. And then you just tear down. And yeah, a lot of the time we'd want that to exceed that, but this is available to go to like here, here, here. That's something that I'm thinking about doing with Patreon, is giving like daily time frame like pathing. Tesla took a crap. Bam. Yeah, so you're very likely to continue now. Especially, you want to still watch these things, like look for divergence. But these start to get pretty risky. You have a wave of sellers, like a wave of sellers, man. You could go like this right now and just bam. Damn, Tesla did it, right? Lost the low. Now you look for that to come back. Oh, that's not good for Tesla. You want it to shape up here. You want it to just start wicking. You want a big ass wick right here. You want this to just like pop back or do like little things in here. Because this is not what you want to see. This is that 2 hour roll. I would be surprised if the daily still, yeah, daily's been curled. So daily curled down. So with the daily curled down, now we're kind of looking where? Weirdly enough, Tesla might be looking all the way down to like 306. Yeah, 306. We'll see if it's able to just do this at any point, but that's not a good sign. I'm guessing Nvidia is doing similar things. No, it's actually not dumping. Okay, Nvidia's not dumping. What the hell else is dumping? Palantir. Palantir went into the buyers. This one's not nearly as bad. But that 2 hour crosses, I'd be careful. But right now, Palantir looks okay. It doesn't look okay with the 30-minute divergence. It doesn't look okay with the 2 hour about to cross, and you're getting that confirmation on two sides, which is saying like, uh-oh, uh-oh. But the price action wanted to go down into this level for Palantir. So Tesla's in its own boat right now. You want to see a wick here. In the next 9 minutes, you want to see this wick up. That would give you a better shot of being like, hey, divergence can play out. If you want to play any kind of divergence here, right? Well, one thing we should do is, if we're going to do this right, this is why I want to do the private streams, so we can have these levels up. Does Tesla have further down that it can go? Yes. This week, it has further down it can go. So that tells us, hey, this can go deeper, like deeper levels, right? Okay. So we're not necessarily seeing a divergence shape up at a weekly expected move. We'll take that into consideration. We don't have that check mark for us, right? We like that check mark. But if this divergence were to play out, I would be seriously watching right here all the way up until we at least beat this level, if not just make a new high. I would be just watching like a hawk, looking at a 5 minute and going, I need to see an uptrend. If I ever see like this and just crosses down, oof, it's looking risky, right? If we ever make a new low here, you don't necessarily want to be a part of it. A lot of divergences can convince you of things. Really, the best way to think about this is, if the 30-minute is fully able to cross up, it's probably going to have to get to here. That's probably the better time to look for, hey, that is turning around. And then you can see that upside move for the 2 hour chart. As of right now, this is way more likely to keep rejecting and heading down. This is pretty bearish, what has just happened for Tesla. And I say bearish in the context of a daily pullback down into buyers, potentially down towards 306, potentially down towards 295. Okay? So bearish, but also still a very bullish trend. I'm sure a lot of people will be doing this as well, saying, oh my gosh, it broke the trend, right? Then it's going to go, uh-oh, down to here. Then it's just going to curl up in a positive territory again. So we'll be watching. But yeah, not a good thing for Tesla for the time being. We'll see if it can turn around. But wow, it is a divergence. You just got to make sure you're executing and managing that trade very closely. Yeah, we need a break. That's what I'm saying. Okay, monumental. Don't you agree with me then? Don't you agree? Like that like a 30-minute pullback before we like break through is fine. Right? I know we're kind of on trend, but like even if you take the near trend right now, you're just going like this, you're like, oh, look where the 30-minute pullback would go. Oh, it would go down into here. Now, this means I don't want it to go all the way to here. I would rather it keep its spacing and then go up and come back down to that later for the 2-hour pullback if we can. Like we go like this. We kind of do like this type of move, just like vertical. Then it fades. And then we start to go up, up, and away, right? I think that would be insanely cool. So we'll keep that line up. Why don't we keep that line up for a bit, just so we have that area to pay attention to, right? That's how I treat trend lines, an area to pay attention to, nothing more, nothing less. Yeah, this is where we need momentum. Yeah, I could see that. Exactly. Your RSI is getting kind of cooked and starting to give you that lower high. Just on like a 5-minute scale, you have divergence, right? We're like, yeah, that okay. You might even see it on 15, right? Okay, you get the form of rejection, but you see it plainly here for that RSI. Super dramatic right now. So we'll see. The market doesn't have to give it to us. We just want to see, is it going to reload? Is it going to squeeze? Pretty much you're in a scenario of like, is it going to squeeze or is it going to reload and then squeeze? That's what it seems like to me. Good day. Here, let me go use the restroom real quick, guys, and I will be right back. All right. Thoughts on NNE and Nvidia? We'll look at these. Okay, Christopher, whoever's mentioning a couple of stocks right now that I see the Nvidia and NNE. John, I see you. Just mention them when I get back, okay? All right, we're back. Okay, I wanted to look at Nvidia. Let's just give that a hard look too. Nvidia is not in the same spot at all right now as Tesla. It is in the same spot as far as momentum goes, but as far as price action goes, this still has squeezability, right? So the time where you get more worried about this is when the 2-hour does cross. Now, that could just be dipping down to go get buyers again, right? Making a higher low. It's very difficult to call tops on these ones. It will look obvious in hindsight, but a lot of things like this is why people like hindsight aren't really doing it justice. And this is why hindsight, thinking you would have saw it, it's more how would you have played it and when would you have managed risk and that kind of thing. The reason for this is like, you see this now and it looks really bad, but then everyone will forget about this moment completely if Nvidia does this. Then like wicks down, right? We see this wick down, and it just starts to go back up, and then it starts to make a block up here, right? Now, and then up here, these same people are going to call out this. Now, this time, they might be right? They might be right this time. But the point is, you forget that this moment even happened. You could be in one of those moments right now where it looks really bad. And this is why you don't really want to focus on being right here, being correct, right? In order for you to be correct, what do you need to see? You are in control of being correct as you can be with your decision-making ability. So you would say, if this 2-hour curls down, and that looks like straight up divergence to you, it looks like straight up divergence to me. If this would cross down, and you said, okay, this is crossed on the MACD, it's crossed on the RSI, the bar looks ugly, I'm taking a put. What is your plan? That's what matters here, because you don't know yet if this is a moment where we do this or we start to break down. And people like to do that in hindsight trade. They go, I knew. No, this is why on this channel, we are very clear. We are pointing out these things that are just like, hey, there is weakness here, but pay attention if it doesn't go that way, because it can. That's all we are here. We're the skeptical guy who just knows that we can't get it 100% right. There's always a chance that we walk outside and a bird craps on our shoulder and we have to go change shirts. We don't know if that's going to happen or not. So this is a very good thing to see here, because you can always take plays. It's not about if you're right or wrong. It's about what did you do about the trade? Did it continue to go your way, and then you took profit, and then you reloaded again, and then you took profit again down here and right here? Did you execute the trade really, really well? That's the important part. When it curls back up on the 30-minute and makes a higher low, did you manage risk right here? Because that's how it goes this way. You're in control. You're in way more control than you think. And a lot of it is probably just some little bits of doubt in your mind and your skills. I would encourage you to just sit down and say, this month, I'm going to trust my indicators. I'm going to write down these things. I'm going to write down these things. And before I even think about buying something, I'm going to have a plan to get in, and I'm going to have a plan to get out. Whether that is out for good or out for bad, it still will be the best decision for me. And do that for a whole month, I think you'll do a lot better. And you can even come into this channel at times and ask us questions, and I can tell you, yeah, where's your decision-making opportunity? Oh, it's at that weekly expected move. This is where you want to either be looking for divergences that say we're going to turn down maybe on a 2-hour, or we want to look for maybe taking profit if we're long here, or hedging against those positions if we see something a little bad, right? That's what we like to do around here. We like to kind of walk you through things, but anything can be an opportunity if you execute it correctly. That is true. What we do on this channel is try to teach you how to see direction easier, to instead of having to make those difficult decisions, just make them a little bit simpler, right? Okay, we see a new high, so we're looking for what? A 30-minute pullback. Down to where? Well, our little block resistance, block support zones, well, they say the middle here is pretty good. So I'm going to look in that middle. Oh, look, there's a gap. There's some big buyers. We can use our price action skills as well. Oh, look, we're at the 5-day. We can use technicals. Oh, the 30-minute curled up. Hey, that's risky. Oh, look, it went positive and broke the upside. Okay, it's good now, right? We could have done, we did all that right here. Just keep doing that. And every once in a while, when you keep doing that, you'll see a move like this. And you'll say, holy crap, we just gapped down 4%. Right? We remember the Trump moment. Remember the gap up in the SPY? So my take on this is if the 2-hour turns down, it's risky as hell. That's my take on this. My take for the current price action as far as today goes is I don't even want it to lose this, really. I want it to maybe curl down into that. I think once you lose this, it gets risky, but I'm always looking for what? The 30-minute to turn back up. This is all I'm looking for Nvidia. If we do that, you have potential to squeeze. And guess what? If you guys like shapes and patterns and all that good stuff, what does this look like? Pretty cool. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Let's go. It can just go sideways and do that too, by the way. So there's a lot of ways it can do it. That's my take on Nvidia. I really think that a 30-minute pullback would do it some good. We can look at 5-minute here, see if we're continuing to make pathways up if we would like. I like how Apple's shaping up. I do too. Daily cross up, baby. Pull it back on the 30-minute too. Pull it back, man. Test those buyers. Go all the way to 204 if you really want to. All right? Go all the way down to here. Go all the way down to this wick. I don't care. You look good. Ooh. What does the volatility look like? Volatility looks like it wants to go down. What the fuck? Yeah, volatility looks like it. Are we going to squeeze here? Volatility is saying like, hey, we're going to go down. Unless it just pops off right now, but volatility is kind of giving you weakness and momentum. It's still holding, right? Still holding the uptrend. But this is starting to be like, wait, what are we going to do this, right? That's what's being suggested here. Are we going to squeeze? The hell? That's very weird to see. I will say that. This is very weird to see. Well, I'll have a trading bot doing this, yeah. Everyone will have the same exact investments. Whatever the whoever programmed the AI gets to choose all of your investments. And they can make you buy shittier stocks while they buy the real good ones. Is Bitcoin bearish? Yeah, that's not even worrisome. I don't think we get 2-hour pullback now. I think it's got to go up first. Sorry, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, overall, we didn't really get the 4-hour we wanted, did we? Yeah, it's still available too. So for now, I'm still inclined to believe that Bitcoin wants this second push down, down into like 100K. I still think that's coming. I think you might get a wick there and start to go up though. I think you're going to make a 4-hour divergence here still. It was able to catch itself right here. That was crazy. But now you're starting to lose that trend. Boom, boom. Break that one too. Go down, start that little downward move. Get into here. That's what looks like the most probable thing now. How does this thing turn around right now, though? 2-hour turns up into positive territory. So if it just wants to run, hey, 2 hours is going to curl up. Watch out for sellers above, but you want to make new highs again and again and again and again and again. So 4-hour curls down, bad. Look for 4-hour divergence. 2-hour curls up, looks pretty good and like it wants to make a new high. Bitcoin does have moments on the 2-hour where you see like serious move like this. Yeah, like this. It's even tighter than that sometimes though. What the hell's in it? There it is, right here, look. Like just a bunch of winding things in here. So just be aware that you can like sit here for a while. Go, SPY, go. I don't know why Volatility is saying it wants to turn down right now. So go, go, go. Waiting for a day trade. I think you are waiting for a day trade. That's exactly what you're doing right now. Like every single trader is waiting here. You know who's not waiting here? The FOMO dudes, the FOMO bros. Toronto. Oh, what's up? I see the same little picture. Toronto. What am I holding right now? I have Apple and IWM. And IWM is looking like pullbacks coming. I have plenty of time with these. I think I'll hold throughout this. I think we got another push higher, even if we 30-minute pullback first. So I'll probably hold through this. And I'll probably look at taking my first profits on Friday if possible. This is, it would, can you, Pablo? Yes. Is it highly probable to just crash right now with this look? I would say no. The 30-minute looks like it wants to at least extend to the weekly expected move. Once we get to something like 602, 601, we'll start to talk about it, Pablo, okay? We're just like a day or two off, I think, from seeing a bigger drop. It depends if we squeeze at any point, too. Yeah, that's right. NNE. Oh, nuclear. Let's go, dude. Good retest. Might be a 2-hour one. Yeah, it's a 2-hour retest. For this 2-hour, I'm not the most excited about this 2-hour, but it is a solid breakout. So maybe I'm thinking too critically here. Let's go daily scale. You can spend a lot of time in here, but this is still very good. Let me see where these touches add up. Right there. So like right around here, you can extend it down. Try my best just to like keep it fair. So what can happen here is what you don't want to lose is probably this wick is pretty critical. But I would also just argue like any of this. I don't think you want to lose any of this. Any of this, it becomes risky. But if for whatever reason that 2 hours is able to curl up, I think it might be an opportunity. And the daily might just be reloading here for another push. That is possible because you were able to break out of the zone pretty cleanly. And then you come back down into it and you start heading to that upside again. That can easily happen here. If this can give you any guidance of like, hey, is that opportunity actually shaping up? I think this could give you a little bit of guidance. Yeah, I think this could give you just a little bit of guidance to say, hey, if I get the 2-hour to curl up in this area, right, then that could be the opportunity. But if that 2-hour then fails and goes like this and crosses through this trend line, I'm not in it right now. I'm gonna look down at lower options, see if it breaks the low. Yeah, that one's interesting, but the structure on the daily just looks fantastic. Like it could just be a reload to get the next like fucking ramp. Like this looks like one. That could be 1, 2, and then just 3. Fuck, man. It's just hard because your technicals, the daily is crossing down. This is so I don't like to take calls on something. So I'd have to really be convinced about this one that it's a good option opportunity. As far as like holding a stock, I don't think that's a bad place to consider those options, and then you just watch the low. Yeah, not bad. But you kind of see here too the potential for major weakness, by the way. I think we still have some squeezability here on the shorter time frames, but there is the looming daily divergence, right? There is the looming this type of thing, right? There is the looming bad thing that could be here that no one's really talking about. I think people are too attuned to like downside move right now. I think you just want to extend that daily up. Like extend. Oh, that's true too. When's Vixpiration this month? Fudge, where's my Vixpiration sheet? No, I gotta like save that thing. Whatever. There it is. June. Ooh, it's before June 20th. It's June 18th. Do we not have a trading session on that Thursday? Oh, we don't. Wow. Ooh. That's a spicy time. That's a spicy time, my friends. That is a time where you have Vixpiration with a day off afterwards, and then a Friday OpEx. Oh my goodness, that sounds this. I hate this month already. I hate this month already. Oh, give us the 30-minute pullback. Come on, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, that's a lower high. You actually might be getting it now. Alrighty. So I was looking at stuff just in case, but just looking at maybe like some Apple numbers if we saw a pullback here. But for the most part here, now you are seeing what? Okay, we made higher lows. We go to the upside, we make another higher low. We go to the upside, we make a lower high. So now we're watching for if that previous low breaks. Then we're going to get those retests. And this is where we could trail down for a lot of the day, down to 592. We also have the availability for like a flash sell, like bam, bam, bam. It's just pretty quick. And then we see what happens around the afternoon as well. I think a slow drawdown would make the most sense here. But for the time being, we have not seen this make a new low. So right now you are watching for the new low. Then that could come up. And then you'll look for those areas where it could retest sellers. And then it can break down. But we have not lost the low yet. So this can always just do what? Even though we don't see it, if it holds up anywhere in that wick, it's still a higher low. It can be spicy because there's a lot of money at risk and you have a lot of options that need to like roll over, repricing. Jess, so VIX has its own like options expirations. And so that is one where you can get repricing and stuff. You can see spikes in volatility just to reprice the VIX. Like you literally can see like market manipulation during that time. Like just they want to go grab orders places to make volatility go higher. Kind of crazy. No 600, not today. No. The way you got 600 today was a gap. You need news throughout the day if you want to see like major buying, and that would probably be at the end of the day or after hours. Right now, you're looking for a 30-minute pullback, and we're just showing that on a 5-minute chart. Yeah, so you'll get VIX spikes, and then OpEx is just a shitload of money is at risk. So like a ton of money is at risk on OpEx. That's pretty much how I look at it. Oh, no, 600 can be hit by end of week. I think 600 gets hit this week. I just think it's Thursday or Friday. But I'm not betting on that exact thing. Like, if it doesn't happen, I don't care, right? I don't care. As long as it happens, like, eventually, or if I have to manage the trade, I'll manage the trade. But I'm still looking for, like, dude, I think IWM could get to, like, 215. Like, I don't think you understand how bullish I am there. I'm still looking at things, right? I'm still looking at IWM make the lower high. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. Do you think that's going up right now? No, it's going to go down. It's going to get its 30-minute pullback, right? Get the 30-minute pullback. That's what's very likely to happen here. But I want that 30-minute pullback to extend through these highs, and then I want to see this thing just break. I want to see it just go, dude. Go to like 214. Fucking bam, 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 bam. Then we talk about, uh-oh, something bad happening, right? Maybe some kind of 2-hour pullback at that point. Yeah, I like the look of the market right now. Shit. I left my water upstairs. Give me a sec. I'll look at Amazon and Google in a sec. Hold on. We will definitely look at Google. Okay? Hold on. Had an off and on cough for like 3 days. Just trying not to cough into the mic to you guys. The thing about Google is the setup is very cool. I think the setup's cool. It's back on. In a moment. It'll give you another point of divergence. This is actually better. This is a higher low. Yeah, Google looks like it might rip here. Might even look at this. I like this look. I just don't know if like has the most room. Google looks interesting. I just think I have enough money risk already, actually. So what you want to see from Google here is a solid move. You want to see Google attempt to take back that 5-day. You want it to take this back now. You want this to be its higher low on the 2-hour. This means like Google's about to potentially get rotated into. If it breaks this low, watch out, right? So here's your level to watch, 167.60. But you are looking for the 2-hour to get a big move here. I would say potential to reverse down from the gap, right? But you're watching that 30-minute in here, right? You're watching that 30-minute, and if that starts to roll, you bounce, you roll again, you know what to look for, right? So the best thing for this to do right now is take out this level, right? Just go wham up to there. Maybe even cross through again. Then you get a big 2-hour pullback, which is what I see coming later on next week. And then you see that extended move up into, and maybe it goes even more ballistic than that, right? It can go higher, right? It can do that. But I don't want to get you too excited, right? As of right now, use your weekly expected moves to guide you. This is at the lower weekly expected move, making divergence. That is a lot of check marks on my book. I'm like thinking about selling Apple and taking Google. But I just like the Apple play right now with the daily chart. TLT is very interesting in the way that it's really forming here. Like you can see, it's not properly doing it, and this is probably better to see over on the yields. It doesn't look proper here. I don't know how to put it other than that. It doesn't look right to go up right now, but it makes sense. Like it makes sense. It's like it's like the structure is there, but it's not in the regular shape. It's kind of like, oh, I'm used to seeing, a red apple all the time. This is a green apple. It's kind of the same, but like there's some differences. Technically, it's kind of funny. So the 10-year is what I've really been focusing on. And I've really just been focusing on what? Well, when we were mentioning that the 10-year was going to see some kind of bounce when it took this level out, right? It took this level out. We're like, you're going to see a bounce. You're very likely to do what? Reject that bounce, right? And so we're able to roll down and down and down, right? So we've been able to guide through TLT. Now the question here is it about to like fall, right? I don't think so. Weirdly enough, this looks like really rough. You open the pathway lower, this low is lower, and then you curl up into who? The previous sellers, and then you wipe that out. So the 10-year yield looks like it is going to go for, man, it might give up a lot of this. Yeah, this dip down would be pretty aggressive. So you might see a good bounce for TLT. A good move, like a good one. You maybe even down to here. And then you actually see the rates go up for a bit of time. And then those start to subside. That would be the most likely scenario here. Very interesting. Is it shaping up like a trade for TLT? I think you could consider the daily time frame a rejection and a retest, and you could say, where's it trying to go? Well, probably to 80, like these levels we were paying attention to previously, right? When this was forming, we said, if you make a divergence here, look for the top side here, $90. I think that could be coming, actually. That's how it's shaping up. I think it could take some time. And we'd have to monitor it, right? Because you're kind of taking a daily trade. You want to monitor those very closely throughout. It's usually pretty clear what's going to happen. So as of right now, it looks like it's going to continue to go up. I think that that up could take you to about $88. That's my estimate here. With the availability to go all the way to $90 if I want to hold runners, right? Perfect. Not a bad thing to look, not bad at all to look at. Like, really not bad. I'm surprised this 5-minute hasn't broken down yet. Oh, it caught it. No, did it catch itself? It's trying to. Wow, that's impressive. Oh, I'll check it. Let me check on my other charts real quick while I watch this. TLT on the weekly. Oh, you right. Oh, you right. That might be a super launcher. Holy crap. So like what? This means what? Weekly divergence is good for a monthly. So this means over the next 2 years, we should see TLT just go like up. I might be doing my TLT investment. I might just decide to do that right now. Let me look at the yield again on the weekly. Oh, hell. Ooh, 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 ooh. It should be good for at least like a few months. I might do that for a few months. I'll decide. End of day. Usually when I do things like this at the end of stream, I say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna decide. Usually I just go, okay, by the end of the day, I'll look at it and see what I'm thinking. Weekly looks cool. Yeah, slowing down again. Overall though, you do have weakness and momentum here. You do have the lower high, but you need the lower low. The lower low is what starts this. I wonder why. You'd look for like probably in about 30 minutes. Maybe you actually make new high here again. I figure you want to use this. Right? Maybe this is extended up a little bit more. Kind of see this. That'd be a cool way to break down. That's kind of how it has to break down if it wants to go to daily move. Three days up in a row is 6.3 of 1% to 185 by mid-June. Let's fucking go, Bronco. Let's go, dude. You don't sell shit. This is your moment. This is the time. Let's go, dude. Oh fuck, it's going down. No, I think that this does have the opportunity to do good things. You just have to make sure those good things are at least setting off, right? We're still due for a 30-minute pullback. So do you think like Google is going to be good during a SPY 30-minute pullback? Well, if you see rotation, you see momentum go into it, okay. But if you don't, you're just like, this is trailing off a little bit. Let me make sure everything's still good. It's so cheap. Kind of is cheap. I pray you're right. That's right. We're all praying for you. Yeah, I need to get some grub. I need some eggs. CR. Oh yeah, I did see like a lot of people pointing this one out too, right? Oh, that's probably why, because of like a gap down coming. Oh, okay, yeah. This one's still good. It's not too scary. Actually, it's right here. Sorry, I'm moving around a lot. Not scary yet. Yeah, I think it still gets bad. Yeah, I think it still gets bad. I think you still have some work to do here. But I'd look for a 30-minute divergence or 2-hour divergence right here. I'll leave that circle there. How long is that? How long does that give me? Monday? Yeah, Monday. All right, cool. We'll leave that little circle there. Yeah, I don't think that's like a buy right now. I don't even know if you're long term. I don't even know if it's a sell right now. I would need monthly expected move for that type of move. Home builders looking good. You adding to some nail or what? Housing sector on the 2-hour looking fresh. Housing sector about to make a comeback, baby. Uh-oh. And we didn't see a drop with all this. Are we, oh my god, if we mega squeeze, I will just lose my mind. Yeah, I'd say your home builders play is probably gonna look pretty good if the housing sector is looking like this. That looks like a daily, just extreme high or low that's about to try to launch over the next few months to like 740. Woo! That'd be dope. Hopefully there's no divergence up there before you get there that ruins your party. Hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. Seriously. Like, I would love for the housing market to remain good so people can stay in their homes. That sounds great. Amazon, still looking for the 30-minute higher low. Now, Amazon on the daily, like, perfect retest. Like, people have already taken this opportunity. I guarantee you people are already in calls here for Amazon. If I go look out, I bet you all see calls at 220 for OPEX. If I'm wrong, I'll be like, kind of like, damn, okay, that's interesting. Like, I think it's more obvious. Ah, there they are. There's those. There they are. There's those 220s on OPEX. There they are. I see you. There you are. Man, just pretty confident with that this early on, huh? Yeah, I think that whether Amazon wants to pull back first or not, right? Whether it wants to do something like and then go, or even down for a while and then rip. See something like this? I think either way, people are reaching out to these 220s. And I think on the daily, this looks like a retest. So what you want to do is you need to see squeezing here. Like this is very squeeze. Like I think squeeze would be what you want. You want the 30-minute to go up and then make a new high. Except this time you don't want some little baby high like this. You want it to go like wham, wham. That's what I think. But the bad part is, why do we have this low marked off already? Why I didn't draw that just now. That's where it gets risky, right? That's where it says, it's not going to happen. But there are a lot of people betting on 220 calls. I'm going to guess that 48,000 on 220 on Amazon. I'm going to guess that's not retail. All right, guys, we are at 10:02, so I got to take off today. It looks like we are going to try to break through one more time and just continue to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze with a higher low right now. We'll see if we fail this high, right? We can always turn down, so the critical areas for now are make a new high or make a new low. And then we can see which direction this market wants to go. We will have a YouTube video coming out later tonight to talk about daily expected moves and maybe what to expect for the next trading session. But for today, we got to get out of here. I got to go get ready and go to the gym and try to eat some good lunch, have a good time, enjoy my life. Sounds fantastic. And maybe I'll trade at the end of the day. So Patreon members, look out. I might be in the chat in the last hour of the day. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Peace out.